Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's discuss this boring show known as Monday Night Raw from September the 23rd, 2024. A boring show outside of Jeym Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship, Drew McIntyre's OK promo, and the pull-apart brawl between Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. Outside of those three things that I just mentioned to you all, this show was boring. Triple H has no idea what he's doing. None at all. So, I'm going to talk about those three things first, and then from there we'll get into the rest of the show. So, the main event, Jeym Uso defeats Bron Breakker to become the new Intercontinental Champion. So I know Rikishi's probably happy. He's probably throwing babies in the air and he's popping bottles and everything else. Okay, cool. Congrats to Jay for winning. But this hurts Bron Breakker. This should have happened a while ago. I want to say maybe about 6 months ago this should have happened. I have always thought that Jeym Uso should have been the one to dethrone Gunther and not Sami Zayn. It should have been Jeym Uso. That's really what it should have been. And like I said before, Jeym Uso should have been champion. I'm glad that he won. So the finish was basically Braun was on the outside. He was going for his spear. Jay reversed it. He had a nasty super kick. He speared Braun to the barricade, and then he hit the Uso splash for the 1, 2, 3. And then he went into the crowd very quickly and celebrated for like all of 5 seconds, and then that was the end of the show. I didn't like that. I felt like Jay should have won maybe 5 minutes earlier, and then that way he could have, had time to have all this sink in and everything else, and him showing, emotion and everything else. I get it. I do. And I'm happy for Jay. But what do you do with Bron Breakker going forward? What do you do? Because this is the problem with Triple H booking. He does not know what to do with the guys and girls he's called up from NXT. And it's just not a good look. I just don't get it. It's like, what are you going to do with Bron Breakker now? Are you going to have him win it back at Bad Blood? Are you going to wait until Survivor Series? But you can't do it at Survivor Series because that's when the War Games match is going to take place between, the original Bloodline versus the Bloodline 2.0 or the new Bloodline. Are you going to do it on Saturday night's main event on December 14th? Are you going to do it like that? What are you going to do? And so now Braun, he's lost his aura, and it's not good. It's really, really not good. And there's been times that he's taken time off for a little bit, where he's off the show for a couple weeks, and then he's back on. He had to deal with that stupid IC tournament that didn't need to happen or take place. And now he's done lost the IC title after 2 title defenses. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But what do you do with Braun going forward? What do you do? How do you reignite that aura? How do you reignite that spark that he had? Really, what do you do going forward? What do you do? I don't fucking know. I can't tell you guys. I can't even think of anything right now. But to me, this is something that should have happened months ago for Jeym Uso. I'm happy for him. Congrats. But at the end of the day, what do you do with Bron Breakker going forward? Moving on. Drew McIntyre is out next. So he basically reiterates CM Punk's promo from last week. So Drew McIntyre's been thinking about what he said and the look in his eyes, that being CM Punk. He knows that Punk meant every word. He said for once, Punk was real. Punk is willing to sacrifice everything for this to end. Drew McIntyre says that he's always told the truth and has been honest about CM Punk, but he kept his personal stuff to himself because he's fighting a greater cause. He's been in the Hell in a Cell match more than once and is still fixing broken things. Punk's sisters begged him not to do this match. Punk's wife begged him not to do this. McIntyre's family begged him not to do the match. They all know it's gone too far. Drew McIntyre's wife begged him for months to stay away from CM Punk because of how it's impacted him mentally. Drew McIntyre says it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. This match will have a bad blood. Drew McIntyre has some promises of his own. McIntyre promises to make Punk bleed a lot. He'll make Punk suffer and feel more pain than he's ever felt in his entire existence. It's appropriate that Punk compare himself to the devil because this has always been good versus evil. CM Punk compares himself to supernatural things, but he's just a mere man that Drew McIntyre has so easily broken in the past. Punk is a man that Drew McIntyre will end permanently inside hell in a cell. So, pretty good little promo from Drew. It could have been better. I wish he didn't try to, copy what CM Punk did last week. He could have came better with it, but he chose not to. So, it is what it is. I'm still sold on this being the main event of Bad Blood, and it should be. And I guess the co-main event will probably be Cody and Roman taking on Solo and Jacob Fatu. So I don't see Cody and Roman opening the show. I don't see them ending the show either. So that honor will go to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But this is an okay promo, I guess. Could have been better. All right. We actually kicked the show off with Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom. So they came out. They basically didn't really say much of anything, saying that Liv's going to take care of Rhea and everything else. So Rhea comes out. She didn't too much say of anything. She said that she's going to hurt Liv Morgan and that she's medically cleared to go and everything else. So they continue to talk crap back and forth to one another, and then out of nowhere, Rhea hits her with a headbutt, and then that was kind of it. And so basically this leads for the match at Bad Blood being where Dom's going to be suspended in a shark cage. Who really cares? They could have done more than this, but it is what it is. Not really all that important. Moving on, Sami Zayn defeats Ludwig Kaiser in the first match of the night. So Sami Zayn wins via the haluva kick. Post-match, Gunther comes out in his ring attire, and he teases that he's going to face Sami Zayn, and he wants to face him right here, right now in California, and it's all a ruse, and then Gunther just says, nah, it's not going to happen. So that was it. So not really all that important. Moving right along. So Xavier Woods, he's backstage. Kofi Kingston walks up to him. He's trying to bribe him with a purple trombone and some bootios. So Xavier Woods tells Kofi Kingston that his emotions were high last week. Kofi Kingston says Xavier Woods mentioned the New Day needs to get back on track ahead of their anniversary in November. Kingston dug through the archives to find some things that made the New Day great. Xavier Woods says this was all fine when they were on top. They haven't been champions in 3 years. They need to get more serious and lock in. Kofi Kingston says for the next few weeks, Xavier Woods can call the shots for the New Day. So, Xavier Woods, he talks crap about American Made, and then he proceeds to challenge the Creeds to a match. So that's fine. So then this leads us into some Judgment Day nonsense, not really all that important. So, dragging off him and Jenny McDonough, they have a little stare off and everything else. Who really cares? It's not that important. Moving on, Dragon Lee, he defeats Carlito, which is great. So he finally got a win. That's cool. But does it matter? No. We don't give a damn. Moving right along. So, The Miz, he's warming up for his match. Karrion Kross walks up to The Miz. Karrion Kross says he wants to check in on The Miz before his match against Big Bronson Reed. Karrion Kross thinks it is messed up. People think that The Miz has no chance. Karrion Kross wants Miz to be himself and do whatever it takes to win. Monsters come in all shapes and sizes. And The Miz agrees, and then Karrion Kross smirks. It's like, okay, do we care about any of this shit? No. Moving on. Sheamus is talking to Kathy Kelly backstage, and then he's beaten down by Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Butch. So, not that important. Moving on. So, this leads us into The Miz versus Big Bronson Reed. The match doesn't happen because Strowman comes out, and until them have a massive pull-apart brawl. They're about to do the suplex spot, but that's stopped by referees and officials. And then Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, they beat the fuck out of officials and referees, which was kind of cool. So, good stuff there on that end. And I believe that was the show because Adam Pearce made a last man standing, a.k.a. a last monster standing match next week. This is fine, but this should have been on pay-per-view at Bad Blood. That's what I would have done versus being on the Go Home show, but it is what it is. Moving on, Damage Control, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky, they defeat the Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. Alright, did we care? Nope, we don't give a damn. And that was basically it. That was basically the show. Not really all that important. Who really cares? Forgot to mention that American Made, they beat the New Day. Okay? Is that important? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Last thing I forgot to mention is the promo of Damian Priest. Damian Priest says there's a lot. There's a thing that he liked when he was growing up. He says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" On the street, everyone's ready to stab you in the back. Life can bring you unexpected places. Life brought him to the Judgment Day, a crew that became family, and the brothers to keep Finn Balor. When Finn Balor joined him and Rhea Ripley, they talked about running the WWE. They did that exactly, but Finn Balor always wanted it to be him. Then what happened? Rhea Ripley became world champion. Damian Priest shed a tear because he was proud of his sister. Finn Balor was envious. Damian Priest became world champion. On camera, Finn Balor was the happiest one. Off camera, Finn Balor was envious. Finn Balor might be Damian Priest. Might think Damian Priest's heart makes him weak, but is he his brother's keeper? Damian Priest says no. Damian Priest will always be Finn Balor. It's not his brother. Okay, and that was it. Oh, one more thing. We had an awful promo by the Pure Fusion Collective. Sonya Deville says that every other team is a failure. They lift each other up, put on sparkly outfits, and do stupid dances. PFC is the foundation and future of the women's division. If you want to step up, shoot your shot. Fuck this. Who cares? More New Day drama happened backstage. So Xavier Woods was pissed off that he lost, and he was mouthing off to Rey Mysterio and everything. And so Rey was going to take on Finn Balor next week. He's like, nah, that can wait. Finn can wait. And so it's going to be Rey and Xavier Woods next week. Okay, that should be fun. And that was Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw continues to be a bore, but it is what it is. I can't wait for this show to go 2 hours. I can't wait. But the Jeym Uso stuff was okay. It was all right. Worth talking about. The promo from Drew McIntyre kind of sold me on Hell in a Cell, but CM Punk really did that. He really did all the hard work and heavy lifting for that. Drew McIntyre could have done better on that promo. And I'm definitely loving the Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed stuff. So there's that. But what did you guys think of Monday Night Raw? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.